Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's go over Stellaris patch 1.3, codenamed Heinlein. Robert Heinlein was the third science fiction author of the so-called Big Three, the other two being Isaac Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke, for whom the first two major Stellaris patches were named. And while the three authors may be held in similar esteem to one another, Heinlein the Patch is a different beast altogether than Clarke or Asimov, making sweeping, substantial upgrades and revisions to Stellaris as we know it. There's so much to cover that I'm splitting this project into two videos. This is video number 1. The changes in Heinlein can be separated into two broad categories: core gameplay and 4X gameplay changes. In thinking of core gameplay, think about the features that are more unique to Stellaris. Core gameplay changes are changes to the Stellaris-specific formula. In thinking of 4X gameplay, think of the things Stellaris does that most sci-fi 4X titles do in one way or another. 4X gameplay changes are improvements to these features. Rest assured, both categories are tantalizing. In this video, I'll be covering core gameplay changes. As I jump in, I want to emphasize that this is a truly massive patch, with loads of exciting new features and nuanced adjustments. So I'm going to be covering the content in quick summary format. This also means that some of the smaller details might be missing, or that new details not covered in the developer diaries may not be present. Let's begin with the changes that will be arriving free for all players. I'll cap the video with some coverage of the paid features you'll be able to get with the Leviathan's expansion. Fallen empires in Heinlein will be able to awaken under certain conditions. These conditions include, but are not limited to, endgame crises, regular technological advancement of any given empire, or the awakening of other fallen empires. Be prepared for sudden changes in fallen empire behavior when an awakening occurs. They may begin enforcing their will upon the galaxy in a bid to protect their legacies or the galaxy itself from perceived threats. Awakened empires will have one of 4 personalities geared toward different objective types. Regardless of which personality manifests, count on the objectives being similarly extreme, be it total war, total peace, total conversion, or total technological unification. Lesser empires will have the option of submitting to an awakened empire by becoming a subject. Alliances no longer exist in Heinlein, having been merged with the Federation system. You may now form a federation with other single empires, meaning federations of 2 are now possible, as alliances are not, and a Federation victory condition is now achievable in the endgame. In order to reintroduce the option of non-aggression, defensive, and other guarantee pacts with other empires once you are part of a federation, in Heinlein you can now add non-Federation empires as Federation associates that must be voted on unanimously by all member empires. Empires with Federation association status will have a non-aggression pact with Federation member empires and will gain up to 100 trust with Federation members. In Heinlein, Stellaris space creatures will now exist only in certain regions of space, rarely found outside their territory. Space creatures will also have a nexus system in which the new boss creatures live. Defeating the boss creatures and controlling these home locations will yield rewards for the conquering empire. While auto-exploration is not necessarily a core gameplay element to Stellaris and can thus be found in many 4X titles, Heinlein is adding a unique twist with its version of auto-exploration. Players will be able to unlock a mid-game tech that allows their burgeoning fleet of science scouts to begin exploring new systems automatically, thus doing away with the mid and late game exploration grind. Paradox was careful to note that while auto-exploration will not be available in the early game, players determined to have it can mod this feature of the game to make it available from the beginning. Heinlein introduces 3 new sector-specific settings, and they are as follows. Each sector can be allowed or disallowed to enslave or emancipate populations. Each sector can be allowed or disallowed to build spaceports and construction ships. And each sector can be allowed or disallowed to build military stations. The patch items discussed up to this point in the video have been items slated for the free Heinlein patch. The next few items are specific core gameplay elements introduced in the Leviathan's expansion pack, which will be released alongside Heinlein. Leviathans introduces guardians to the game, and they exist in several different forms. Which ones you encounter depends on the size of the galaxy you started in, and defeating them will yield significant bonuses to resources, technologies, or other Empire benefits. If you think you're ready to take one on, you might want to wait until the mid-game before you do. Leviathans also introduces Enclaves, space-faring precursor races that can assist players throughout the game. Sins of a Solar Empire players might relish the knowledge that trader-type Enclaves will allow them to exchange minerals for energy, or vice versa. Artist-type and Curator-type Enclaves are also part of the Leviathans expansion, helping players gain cultural or purely informational benefits to get the edge on their rivals. Enclaves will also allow you to work your way toward advanced interactions based on the Enclave's opinion of your empire. These interactions are even more useful than the core benefit offered by each Enclave. And yes, you can also annihilate the Enclaves and steal their technologies. In the Leviathans expansion, 2 awakened empires may decide to duke it out to decide the future of the galaxy. This type of conflict is called the War in Heaven, forcing lesser empires to choose between siding with an awakened empire, joining a league of non-aligned worlds, Babylon 5 anyone, or taking the ultimate risk, going it alone against the Goliaths of the galaxy. Speaking of changes that are specific to Stellaris' unique formula, it wouldn't be a proper expansion pack without more than 20 new minutes of exquisite music from Andreas Waldetoft. I'll leave you with a selection that Paradox shared as a teaser. Thanks to Martin, Wiz, Onward, and the rest of the developers, as well as to Stellaris Wiki for making so much of this information readily available for players to ingest and streamers to cover. And thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for more information on Stellaris Patch 1.3. If you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. Comments are welcome, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a bit.